Greetings, YouTube. There's a website I frequent that uses a mechanism for handling unpleasant comments, or at least comments that the person that owns the site doesn't like. And it's a bit of software that does something called disemvoweling. And what it does is it reaches into the comment and it plucks all the vowels out of the words. So you're just left with this string of little broken segments of consonants. And if you want to, you can kind of figure out what the person's writing, because it's bizarre to look at the English language without any vowels. I'm not sure why they don't just block the person, but they don't. They just disembowel the person's comments. The reason I bring this up is because at its heart, to me, that's what the movie Clash of the Titans that was just released this weekend seems to have done to the story from the original 1981 film, Clash of the Titans. It has disemboweled all the spirit, the magic, the heart of the movie. Now yes, the 1981 version was cheesy. It was cheese-tastic. It didn't look like something that came out in 1981. Remember, this is after Star Wars. This movie looked like it was something that came out in the early 70s at best, or the 60s. Harryhausen's work was wonderful. I love stop motion. But the acting was bad. Everything was shiny and clean. It was like a Star Trek episode from the 60s. There was no grit and grime. There was no seedy underworld. There was no poverty, really. It was just this kind of shiny, glossed over fable, which is what, at its heart, the story is. It's a fable about gods and men and how they interact. But it was wonderful, and I loved it. And after having seen the 2010 version of Clash of the Titans, all I want to do is watch the original. I unfortunately don't have a copy, but I'm going to have to hunt one down, because I don't know what I'm going to be able to do to get this bad movie out of my head. Last night I watched a copy of Godzilla 2000, and that helped. But, it was nice looking at a real monster as opposed to the monster presented in this movie. Because frankly, the Kraken was unimpressive in absolutely every way. He just was boring. Not to mention at the end, where he comes out of the water, pulls back for this great reveal, and this little tiny turtle head pops out. It wasn't impressive. The CGI was passable. But the thing is, these characters weren't memorable. I literally do not remember the names of any of the supporting characters. Oh, no, sorry, Dracos. He was one of the military leaders. I remember Io, the love interest of Perseus. I don't remember the king who sent him on the mission, or the queen who was harmed by the god Hades. I recognize the actor that played Hades, but I don't remember his name. The character the actor that played Perseus, I didn't care about. At no point in this movie did I care at all about any of these people. And when I saw Avatar, and Avatar is not an original story in the least, and I saw the St. Crispin's Day speech coming from a mile away. I mean, a half hour before the main character gives his rousing speech to get the aliens to, fight the humans, I saw that speech coming. And yet when he gave that speech, it got me. It plucked at those heartstrings. It drew me into the scene, even though it was tacky as all get out. Clash of the Titans, nothing. I didn't care. From the first reel to the last, I didn't care. The movie was grim and gritty and boring as dirt. I mean, there's so many people in this movie that were dirty. There were fishermen that were dirty. They live in a boat on the ocean. They can't rinse off once in a while. They were filthy. I don't know what the director thought that dirt equates to the ancient world, that no one bathed. I was just unimpressed. It was like there were segments of this movie that were missing. I didn't understand why the characters had any kind of interaction with each other, because I didn't see their relationship develop on the screen. So why did they care about each other? It was a mystery. There was some kind of political message going on, but I'm refusing to engage with items and things of the gods because they're evil. And why the heck would Argos go to war with the gods? I mean, these are the Greeks. They know their own history. Every single time, whether it's a person, a temple, a government, or an entire nation that's gone to war with the gods, the mortals lose. It would make no sense for anyone in the Greek society to do this. It was dumb. This is not God of War 3 where Kratos needs to slay another deity to get some power points. This is supposed to be set in the actual world of the Greek culture where the gods and monsters are flesh and blood, where they will kill you if you do not do what they say. I was unimpressed by this movie. I just didn't care. I will never watch it again. I don't even want to own it on DVD, man. It's just dull. But I do want to own the original, because while it was cheesy, it had magic. It was fun. It was enjoyable. At the beginning of the Clash of the Titans 2010 version, Perseus picks up a golden owl and holds it in his hand and says, "What's this?" And another character says, "Leave it behind." Well, they did. They left behind all the magic of the first film. And all we got was just one long crap fest.